Yeah. Yeah.
Look at me.
Bench Mob, they're speaking them facts that you wanna hear. They rep a jersey, the vision is clear. Diamonds glisten like a chandelier. You know what I'm here for, like Marshawn Lynch. At clutch time, we do not flinch. Real brothers, we do not switch. Hit home runs with the right pitch. Who run the city? What to do when they hating on you? I feel like Kobe 2010. I taking an L, all I need is a win. Business is business, you know how they go. You playing the seats, now it's time to grow. Tuning now, gotta be in the know. Showtime, bitch, my about to blow.
I ain't seen from now. Bowser really.
Bench Mob Podcast. What's up, bro?
You're notorious for that, bro.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Mob Ent. You know, we joined by the big three. One of our members is still on health and safety protocols. We got CJ Moneybags here tonight. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Good. Just watched a really good Oklahoma game. Excited for the rest of these next 6 games until the playoffs. See what's gonna happen. But all's going well.
Greg, it's the hot take. Debate your mother. Gucci glasses on. Sends me. How you doing tonight?
Right, good man. Get you man that can do both. You know, I look good without glasses. I look good with glasses. So get you man who can do both.
Walmart glasses.
All right. You almost say after we start the podcast again.
Yeah, so we got to start off. Chris mentioned it. College football has been exciting these last 2 weeks. Texas A&M beating Bama. You had Boise State with the upset. It was this week. Rattler doesn't start. We're gonna start there. A lot of the prospects going into the season regarding quarterback specifically are not the top prospects right now, which sometimes happens, but they're not. They might top first round at all anymore. Who are some of the top prospects to y'all, and what's y'all takes on Spencer Rattler getting benched?
I mean, we can definitely start with the Spencer Rattler situation first before we go ahead and get into the top prospects. So I think it all ties in together. But Spencer Rattler, I mean, I think it's a shock for everybody that he didn't start tonight because it's not like he was playing that bad. I mean, when he got benched last week, you know, they were still 4-0 at the time. They ended up winning that game because of Caleb Williams. So, you know, it was good for him to get the nod tonight, but I think Spencer Rattler's situation is done in Oklahoma. I mean, if you looked at when he came to Oklahoma, he had Jalen Hurts in front of him, so he already had to wait out his freshman year for that. And then this year, last year was his first year, you know, really playing, and then, you know, this year he gets to come in and play some more, but the turnovers has been killing him, and they've been detrimental too at times. So Spencer Rattler, like especially after the night, this is what it really comes down to. The night that Caleb Williams had today solidified it. Like, it's deeds for him. He needs to go to another school. He needs to transfer because he's not getting his job back. You know, Caleb Williams put up 52 points tonight, threw for 5 TDs, ran for 1, led Oklahoma last week back, you know, down by 3 touchdowns to win the game. Like, he's shown that he's the real deal. They can do more with the playbook with him due to his agility and speed. And this kid is going to be bright. And I think he's going to be one of the top talked about quarterbacks towards the end of the season. If he continues to play how he's playing, he's going to be – his name can get thrown. It's going to be crazy. His name can get thrown in the ring for Heisman. He's that good. And I didn't know what all the hype was about. And I know a lot of people didn't because a lot of people hadn't seen him play besides last week. But this kid's going to be special. And I think when the time comes for him to get drafted, and I'm talking about Caleb Williams, I think he will be probably the top quarterback taken off the board. When it's his year to get drafted, whatever year, I'm co-signing it right now. I'm stamping it. I think Caleb Williams, whatever draft class he goes, he's going to be the first quarterback off the board because this kid is special. You see Jalen Hurts in him and the speed. He can just make all the throws. He threw a deep ball tonight that went right through the receiver's hands and perfectly placed ball 60 yards down the field. and he's going to be special. But in terms of other quarterbacks, I see Desmond Ridder up there, Cincinnati, right? And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Cincinnati fan, but Desmond Ridder has the Bearcats right now, number 3rd team in the country. Gonna move to most likely the number 2 spot with Iowa losing today. And he's been playing real well. He's been making smart throws. He can do a lot with his legs. He's gonna be a quarterback in this draft coming up, taken in the 2nd round for sure, hands down. And then you got Bryce Young, obviously, at Alabama. 4 TDs today, no interceptions. Always plays a clean game this year. He was 20 for 28. He just looks good. He looks comfortable. Something about Nick Saban and what he can do to get his team going. But, we all know the story about Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL. So, we'll see if that transfers when his time comes. But you're right. The quarterbacks that we talked about early on in the beginning of the year that were all picked to win Heisman's, have plummeted. And, like you said, they've all got benched. I mean, Bo Nix is a great example. I don't think anyone was picking him to win the Heisman, but people thought he was going to be better than he was. He got benched, late September, but he's one of the ones that turned it around. Came back and has won the last 3 games. This past the past few weeks and played a great game today against Arkansas on the road and beat them. So, we still have the second half of the season to go. So we're going to find out who's the real deal.
Hey, Greg, real quick, what do you think about, before you go, what do you think about Kenny Pickett?
I like Pickett. I was going to say Pickett is a Jersey kid over at Pittsburgh. I like him a lot. He's underrated. He's really underrated. I think this season's been a story about quarterbacks that were under the radar to start the season and have played really well and played themselves into the conversation of being top quarterbacks taken in this draft. The reality is, I don't know that there's a special quarterback, generational quarterback in this draft class, which is why if you have a young quarterback on your team, you're probably not moving off of him. If you're in the NFL, you're not moving off that quarterback because this class doesn't really move you in that way. But I will say Pickett is really good, accurate, tall, throws a nice deep ball. I like him a lot. He's a pocket passer. He's not the electric athlete that a lot of these other guys are, like Matt Corral or or Malik Willis over at Liberty. He's not one of those guys, but he throws a good ball. He's accurate. He can make all the throws in the field. He's a good player. He's got Pitt rocking this year. I think Pitt's 5-1 with him. They're a good program. 5-1, right? They won today too.
They won today, but
he's got a gun. It's a good crop of quarterbacks. It ain't the best we ever seen altogether. I mean, Sam Howell out of UNC is a guy I've been watching for a while. I thought he reminds me of Baker Mayfield. He really does, but he hasn't blown me away. This year I've been watching him closely. The Corral out of Ole Miss has been good. He's been really good. A Heisman front runner this year. Who got a gun for an arm, athletic. He could be a guy that is your top quarterback taken. Malik Willis had 3 interceptions against, I don't even know, UAB tonight. Like, it's tough. It's tough. So much is fluctuating. We don't really know who the surefire number 1 is. If I had to bet right now, I would say it's Matt Corral. But Kenny Pickett's going to make some noise. Kenny Pickett's going to be he could be a first-round pick. And I would love to see it. He could be a first-round pick for real. And he could be one of those sleeper quarterbacks that are taken kind of like a Daniel Jones, no one kind of knew about him, but he kind of burst onto the scene because Pitt isn't a powerhouse football program. So you don't really associate them with having great quarterbacks or great, guys that go to the NFL and dominate. But he's a good player, real good player.
Hey, I mean, there's been a few good guys out of Pitt that go to the NFL and dominate. I mean, I'll name one right now on the Bengals, Tyler Boyd.
All right, but I think about quarterbacks. I've been out there going to the Bengals. Anybody talking about the raggedy ass Bengals?
Relax. Nah, but I respect everything you said about Kenny Pickett, man. I mean, he's comfortable right in the pocket. Like you said, he can make all the throws. This year, he's balling out this year. I mean, what is 70% pass completion rate?
That's big.
72 completion percentage.
Yeah, that's big.
234.28 rating and 19 TDs.
I'm telling you, man, he's got
19 TDs already. Yeah, I mean that's like that. He's on pace for what, 32 TDs if he keeps it up. Like, still 6-7 games left.
I bet quick story for the listeners. I played with some Pitt football players. We played some football during quarantine, and some Pitt football
You
players
got
came down
dusted?
for our little runs. Huh?
You got dusted? Is that what you was
No,
gonna
I was throwing them TDs. They thought I was Kenny Pickett. I was throwing them TDs. Hey, you know what I do on the football field. If I'm on that, let me play football. I'd be a Pitt right now. But that's a whole different conversation. We can talk about that later. I mean, CJ knows it from up close and personal what I do with these routes. I'm really multi-talented, bro. I'm like Kadarius Toney. I could throw a ball 70 yards. I could run routes. I would have probably ran like a 4.5 if I 4.5 if I was running. I was fast, bro. I was fast.
You talking about in Madden?
No, I'm talking about real life. Bro. This ain't sweet. CJ, come on, bro.
There's no way you could be talking about real life.
I would have ran a 4.5. I would have ran a 4.5.
Maybe like a 5.5.
Yeah, all right, please. I'm faster than you now without shoes. Hey, you talking about that?
Listen.
I'm faster than you now.
Listen, I think for real though, I think if we were to do a 40, and I'm not talking me versus you, I'm talking about like if you were to do an individual 40, I'm gonna pick your time right now. I could say
All right.
At best you get a 4.7 at best.
This is washed Greg we're talking about. I'm washed now. I'm talking about me. If I ran a 40 freshman year of college, I'm running a 4.5.
Oh, now we talking about years ago.
Years ago, we talking about now. Right now, I ain't running no 4.5. I'm not sure I'm running a 4.7. I ran a 40. I ran a 40. Me and Ruben ran a 40s last summer. I think I ran a 4.9. I was BSing. That was the COVID weight and all that too. 4.9. 4.9. So
he said that was that Chick-fil-A Bubba Coos weight.
That was that Chick-fil-A with Bubba Coos weight on there.
Yo,
that was a 4.9.
Point of the season, who are y'all favorites to actually win this whole thing right now? Are we going with Georgia? Are we going with Cincy? Like how do we?
I'll take it Georgia. Defense is crazy. The defense is they got an NFL defense. That's the best way I can put it. So I'll take Georgia. I think that even if Alabama sees them with their, and Alabama's amazing, I think that Georgia's defense has an answer for everything. I'm going with them. So I'll take them to win the whole thing.
I'm gonna take Alabama just because I believe in tradition and what Nick Saban is able to do for that organization. I think in these type of situations, experience matters. In Georgia's situation, they don't necessarily know, or maybe they know who their starting quarterback is in JT Daniels, but he has a history of being injured, and we saw that again today. And the quarterback, I forget his name, that took over for him, balled out. I mean, he looked good. He looked real good too. So I'm not sure if there's going to be quarter controversy. As JT Daniels comes back from whatever injury he's dealing with, but I'm gonna take Alabama. The only reason I'm not taking Cincy is because again, they don't have that playoff experience, right? So I'm not gonna say that they're gonna come and win a national championship where, the situation stands where we may not even get in just due to, not being in at a Power 5 school, even if we do go undefeated. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But, by the sounds of it, sounds like, if we continue to play the way we're playing, they're going to let us in and, we're going to run that table when we get in. You're going to see me in the stands too going crazy. Stupid. I promise you that.
Transition to Capital Facts. Tyler Hero is in the same category with Trey, Luka, John Morant. Capital Facts.
It's a cap as of right now. As of right now, I don't like how people talking about Tyler Hero. He's a bucket. He is super skilled. I think he's Devin Booker Jr. Tyler Hero is Devin Booker Jr. That is my comparison for Tyler Hero. Okay, and we talk about sports all the time. The one sport people should not question me on is basketball. This basketball stuff. This is really where this is my field of expertise. He is Devin Booker Jr. That's really what I think. I think he's that good, and I think that he's having a big year for the Heat this year. He's going to force their hand. He's going to force them to play him more minutes this year. Last year I know he struggled, but this year he's looked sharp in preseason. I think his last game he had 29.
He looked good in preseason.
He looking real good. He looks like he's trying to send a message. The kid can play. The kid can really play. I don't know why people are hating on him for. I mean, I have Knicks fans telling me RJ Barrett is better than him. Oh, give me a break. Give me a break, please. Stop. It get me upset. Tyler Hero is going to be really good this year. He's going to make some serious noise, and he'll be in that conversation by the end of the year. That's my prediction. I don't think it's a hot take.
No, I don't think it's a hot take either, and I agree with you on that too. But I do think his comment is bad timing on his part. You don't say that after the year that you played last year, right? You say that coming off of playing well. And for you not to play well last year and to look like, not that you didn't belong, but he didn't look, capable of what we know he's capable of, having previously watched him. So to come and say you're in the same conversation as Trey, we know what Trey can do. He got ice in his veins. So cut all that out, like talking about, I'm in the same conversation as them. You can't say that's like Ben Simmons say I'm in the same conversation as Steph Curry when talking about shooting threes. No, yeah, last year you wasn't making no threes.
Wait, yo, I don't think it's that far fetched. Like I think people who really know this game and watch this thing up close understand that Tyler Hero, that confidence, like it's earned, it makes sense. And I don't think that he's crazy for saying it. He is as talented as all them guys he named. He is as talented as them. He can score. He can score any way he wants. I love his game. I really do. I really love his game. I don't think he has holes offensively. I really don't.
I think the thing is with that, whether any of us disagree with it, I love to hear it though. Initially,
yes.
You don't want to hear.
Supposed to say.
Like, you don't want to hear that from any athlete. Like, hey, I don't know if I'm in the same conversation with. Nah. All that matters is if you believe it.
That's it. It don't matter what anybody else think.
We'll call you out.
Just like Greg think he can run a 4-3.
I didn't say. First of all, this is recorded. So you're saying 4-3, and I clearly said 4-5. Like you really just lying on yourself. You dry snitching on yourself.
4-3, 4-5. It don't matter. You're not running nothing in the fours.
Yeah, whatever. Yo, Chris, we gonna drop the tape. You have to get some tape of what I did to you on the football field, bro.
Yo, this what
you
we
didn't
gonna
do anything. You got all sorts of pass interference.
We're gonna meet up at a football field.
I'm telling you.
We're going to run 40. I'll record.
I know 4-5 now. I said that. I'm washed now. I run a 4.
No. We're going to run 40 just because he just said you're not getting in the fours at all.
Oh, no, I'm not hitting the 4. I'm not touching fours.
5.2. That's what you touching. 5.2.
I ain't touching that.
Unofficial.
I'll get a 4. I'll get a 4. I'll get a 4.9, 4.8. I've done it before. You
proud of that?
Huh?
You're proud of that?
Right now? Hell yes. Yes, I'm proud of that. What are you talking about? Hell yeah. Chris, what are you running right now? At a 40? Are you kidding me?
Bro, I'll run a 4.6 with my shoes on side.
Chris, you're not running no 4.6. You know how I know? Because when I was running that route and you were behind me, I wasn't running no 4.6 speed. Okay, when you were looking at my back and I was catching the football, you didn't run no. You was not running at no 4.6 speed. Get out of here. He ain't You're at the jam. Use a physical corner. That's
Stop it.
All right, we'll talk about it after the show. We can do it in like 2 weeks. Give you 2 weeks to get the bubble cruise weight off. Let's see what we can get on the 40s.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
2 weeks.
Greg gonna need we gotta give Greg at least a month because he be cheating on his diet.
Greg don't have a diet. Greg eat.
I don't have a diet. I eat what I want because I work out. Today I just hooped. Today I was just violating.
Greg.
That's not how it goes though. You don't get to work out and then go get Chick-fil-A. Every time you work out. That's counterproductive, my boy.
Well, I don't look counterproductive.
It's Greg versus science.
That's what he's on right now. He thinks he's Ocho Cinco right now. That's exactly what he's on.
Next one. The Atlanta Hawks are real contenders out of the East. Cap or facts?
To do what exactly? That's a weird question for that because I don't think they get out of the East.
Are they real contenders to get out of the East? They're going to represent the East in the final.
That's a cap. I can't do that. The Nets exist. The Bucks exist. But the Bucks exist. Not only do they exist, Giannis is hitting jump shots, and he looks like more comfortable to shoot.
That looks scary, don't it?
Yeah.
First play of the game the other night, pulled up, bang.
It's about time. Hey, you know who looked bad in all this? Ben Simmons looks horrible. Giannis went and learned how to shoot a jump shot. He went to Greece. He was drinking whatever he likes to drink, and meanwhile he's working on his jump shot or finding his game. And Ben is still unable to shoot the ball. It's ridiculous.
Posting pictures of his cars all summer.
Yeah, posting the spiders.
So you mentioned Bucks, you mentioned Nuts. Where do you have the Hawks in the East?
I'd say they're solid. In this. I think they're a 4th seed. I think they're the 4th best team. Best way to put it. 4th best team in the East. I think Miami's going to be better than them this year. I think Miami's going to resurge this year with Tyler Hero playing better and Kyle Lowry playing better. I think they're going to resurge. I think Jimmy Butler have a healthy season. Heat weren't healthy last year, and that's a lot of what went wrong with them. I think those are the top 4 seeds. You got Nets, Bucks, Heat, Hawks, and then whatever. Everybody else is irrelevant. Everybody else is cute. The Knicks are cute. The Celtics are 80. They're not even cute. They're my ugly stepchild. And then I don't even know who else am I not counting. I like the Bulls. The Bulls are cute. The Bulls are a sexy team. The Bulls are a sexy team.
The Bulls might be that 5th seed.
I think the Bulls might be better than the Knicks are this year. No BS. Give me Bulls over Knicks this year. I hope the Bulls and Knicks play. Give me the Bulls over the Knicks, bro.
Did they win tonight or lose against Memphis?
Who did? Does it matter? It's a preseason. I don't care. I don't care who wins in preseason, who loses. People talk about the Lakers 0-6 preseason. I don't care. I saw LeBron go out there and give me 30 and look like young Bron, dunking on dudes. Like I feel good about the Lakers. So look, preseason doesn't matter. I could care less. I saw the Knicks left Julius Randle in the game to hit a buzzer beater. What was that about? That's so weird. Why? That's stupid. You know what? It makes sense. It's not gonna be these guys don't have much to cheer about. You give them something to cheer about. Light up the MSG Garden, whatever, yo.
I wasn't gonna go down that path. I was just gonna go down that path. That's what Tibbs does. Tibbs plays all.
That is so stupid.
Plays them big minutes it don't matter.
The preseason, you got Julius in there in the 4th quarter playing crunch time minutes. He let Julius get 29 in the preseason game. What is that? That's a joke.
That's how Tibbs rock. We're going to go more in depth. We're going to have an NBA preview show next week. We'll go more in depth with it before the season starts. Last one for Kappa Facts. Zion Williamson's health is a major concern. Pat or facts? By the way, he's not going to be playing the beginning of the season because he has yet another injury that he's recovering from.
It's a fact, and it's because he comes in every year looking like Booger McFarland, and because he comes in looking like Booger McFarland, we don't know how that's gonna come. It's too much. It's too. Yo, put a side by side of Booger McFarland and Zion.
Stop it. First of all, he looked bigger than Booger McFarland. Give Booger. He looked
like him. Booger McFarland looked like his illegitimate daddy.
You talking about because they the same skin tone, not because
they look just alike. They look just alike.
But Booger gonna watch this clip. He can be like, but nah. I was gonna say, do y'all think it's because of his weight every single year that 100%. The injuries stem from?
Yes.
He actually looks healthier this year than he has in previous years. They did a side by side of his rookie year and this year. He looks slimmed down. The thing is, that's an issue and that's a concern. Is yet another injury. He had surgery over the summer. When they spoke to Griff, he made it seem that he was going to be there for the regular season. Now they want to check him out again in 2 to 3 weeks to see how he's recovering from the surgery.
What was the surgery again?
It was his foot. This can really be, and I feel bad for Willie Green, his rookie year as a coach, his first year. You got Lonzo got traded. Zion's not starting off on the season. They just talking about they starting off winning 2 or 3 games in New Orleans.
You're gonna lose a lot of games, man. Well, who was the top pick? They better be in the running for Imani Bates. They better be in the running for Imani Bates. Imani Bates will be a player they can seriously consider this year because they're gonna lose a lot of games. They're gonna lose a lot of games down in New Orleans. It's gonna be a very dreary experience for them. Can't catch a break.
This might be a hot take, but tell me what y'all think it is. The Zion and I believe correctly, John Morant was drafted 1 and 2 with him, right?
Ja was drafted after him, number 3. Yep.
Does this remind you of when it comes to the health aspect of him being injured or whatnot? Does it remind you kind of the Greg Oden KD situation?
I think so. Yes, because I was saying this during that draft, and that draft is so interesting. I was saying I thought they should have taken John number one. I said Ja was number 3. Ja went number 2 in that class. Excuse me. Zion went 1, Ja went 2, and then number 3 we all know it's irrelevant. But Ja should have gone number 1 overall. Ja should have gone number 1 overall in that class. I really believe that just off of the injury concern. And Jaws is a franchise changer. He's gone to Memphis and changed the franchise. It would have been that pick would have made a lot of sense. But here we are. So yeah, I agree with that. I think the injuries was little, and it's not. And I don't say that for any other reason than the injuries. That's the injuries is why. Because I think if Zion wasn't injured, I think he's a guy who's giving you 20. He could score 25. He'd get 10 boards a game and give it to you on 70% from the field. Like he is that talented, but he's just too injury prone. And
yeah, but
that's the biggest problem.
At the time, you thinking Zion's a franchise player too.
Robin?
At the time, aren't you thinking Zion's a franchise player too?
Like during the draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was concerned about his weight even then, and that was my biggest concern. Like I was just concerned about his weight. After he burst out of his own shoe, I was like, man, that is concerning. It is. That's not normal. I don't care what no one says. That's not normal.
Because those shoes wasn't meant for that weight and that force.
Yeah, like he wearing guard shoes. You gotta wear Timberland boots to be playing Zion. Zion gotta wear a pair of constructs too. Like you can't.
You gotta wear steel toe.
Yes, they gotta wear steel toe boots. Come on, Brian. Zion not here moving around keep the guard. Like,
that is hysterical, bro. You gotta Photoshop that. You really do. You gotta Photoshop that.
Zion should not be wearing Nike Hyper Dunks. Like what? Get out of here.
Yo, transitioning back to football. We're talking NFL now. Who is y'all MVP at this? Lamar Jackson is balling.
Lamar Jackson.
You got Kyler Murray doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who's y'all MVP right now? We got to throw Josh Allen name in the mix too, even though I know somebody on the show is not a fan of him, but who's your MVP right now up to this point in the season? Yo,
Lamar Jackson is not only the MVP. Lamar Jackson, look, Kyle Murray could be MVP or Lamar Jackson. I wouldn't mind either way. It's one of those two guys. But Lamar Jackson's the best quarterback in football. Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in football. He's better than Pat Mahomes. He's better than Josh Allen. He's better than Justin Herbert. He's better than all of them. He's the best quarterback in football. He's throwing the ball, the best I've ever seen him throw the ball. He's recognizing defenses, the best I've ever seen him recognize defenses. And he drops back there. He knows where he's throwing the ball. He knows what the defense is trying to do to him. And he exploits the defense. He puts the defense in a bigger bind than any other quarterback in the NFL because your linebackers are out of the game. Your linebackers can't play coverage because they have to be up spying the quarterback. And you need more than one linebacker to do it because this is the best running quarterback we've ever seen. He's the best running back in football, and he's the best quarterback in football. So he's the best quarterback by far. I don't think it's particularly close. I think he's better than everybody. If that's a hot take, so be it. That he is the best quarterback playing in a game, and if he wins, I think with you think about Kyle Murray. You could give him the MVP, but here's my thing. I think it's like the LeBron argument in basketball for Lamar Jackson. I just think that when you think about his top corner going down, his top running backs going down, the defense being in shambles. Defense is in shambles. They're not that great. Like, he's the only reason why they are 4-1. The only reason why the Ravens are 4-1 is Lamar Jackson. There are a lot of things going right over the Cardinals, and Kyle Murray is still carrying them, but they're healthy. They've been healthy. They've maintained their health. They're exactly what they were supposed to be. Lamar Jackson is doing more with less, and I think he's a football player who can do more with less than any other football player in the world right now. Like I said, he's the best guy running the football right now in the world. Better than even Derrick Henry. I don't care. Like, he's better than any running back running the ball. And he's the best thrower. Right now, he's throwing that ball. When you think about that and you combine the fact that he's throwing the ball at a high level right now, the best he's ever thrown it, he's the best quarterback in the league. And I don't think he's the best quarterback in the league. I don't think it's even a question. But that's where I'm going with. So, yeah, I think Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback.
Now, I agree with you. I think he's the hottest quarterback right now, right? Just based on everything he's about to do. Like you said, he's doing more with less. He led that unbelievable comeback on Monday night or Sunday night, whatever night it was. But at the same time, like, you had just said he's throwing the ball the best he's ever had, which is very true. Do you think that you can honestly say he's a better thrower than a guy like Aaron Rodgers? He's a better thrower than someone like Pat Mahomes? Or do you think just right now, you're talking about just right now, not overall, just right now?
I think Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the NFL and is going to be the best quarterback in the NFL for years to come. Because the thing that and I'm glad you said that, because it's all relative. He doesn't have to be the best thrower in the league. He's the best thrower he's ever been. And when you combine that with the fact that he's the best runner of the football in the league, like, you have to take all things, take every aspect of his game.
That's what I wanted to get.
That's what makes him the best quarterback. He's not a better pure thrower than Aaron Rodgers. No, he's not a better pure thrower than Tom Brady. He's not. But he's dead accurate right now, and he's throwing the ball to the outside hashes better than he ever has in his career, and he's understanding what defenses are doing to him better than he ever has in his entire career. And I think it's really important, because the reason why he was drafted 30th in the first round, while Josh Allen was drafted earlier than him and all these other guys, Sam Darnold, all these other guys were, is because they didn't think that he could understand NFL defenses. They didn't think it was the racist trope at play. The black quarterback just can't understand defenses, can't make throws, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear none of that. He has done that at an extremely high level. He's doing that at a Pro Bowl level right now. And he's outplaying all the guys that people said were better than him. He's outplaying Pat Mahomes. He's outplaying Josh Allen. He's outplaying all of them. He's the best quarterback in football, and he's going to be the best quarterback in football for the next 5-6 years. And he's locking himself in for a crazy payday. It's coming. The Ravens going to open up that checkbook, back the Brinks truck up, because you're going to have to pay him big time, because the way he's throwing the ball, he's answering all the questions. He's passing all the tests.
Look, if I was him right now, I'd go to the Ravens, office and be like, hey, I'm not playing another down until we get this contract done.
I thought about that after the last game he played against the Colts. I was like, man, if I were him, I'd go sit down.
That's exact. After a performance like he had the other night, bringing his team back, after that performance, he needed to go right as soon as they landed, right? Go right to go meet with Harbaugh, the general manager, sit down with them and say, all right, what are we doing? Because I'm not stepping back on that field. He showed you.
400 plus yards, and he threw 80%. He had an 80% completion percentage. That is ridiculous. We're not even talking about him making throws that were short, like little dink and dunk, throwing it to great playmakers. There aren't that many great playmakers in his team. He didn't even have Rashad Bateman. He was throwing it to Hollywood Brown, Sammy Watkins. These guys are good players, but come on, like, he's not even.
He has a case to stand on now. He has a case to stand on. He can say, hey, I kept us afloat. Look at everything that's happened, right? We're 4-1 now. I'm not risking, my health going back out there without this bag secured. You see what I can do. I've proved it time and time again these past 5 weeks. Let's get it done. I really think any agent, if he had an agent, that's what they'd be saying to him too. Like, all right, now obviously they would be doing the negotiating for him, and the deal probably would have already been done at this rate.
If he had an agent, yeah.
It's like we would have seen the deal got done this week, especially after that other. I think he's screwing himself in that regard, because maybe he's focusing on the season too much and not advocating for himself enough. But he needs to get the deal done soon.
Who has been the biggest surprise team thus far?
That's a good one.
Surprise team in the NFL. Man, I would have to say, I'm going with a surprise team, man. Who's really surprised?
For me, I'm gonna say the Cowboys. I'm gonna say the Cowboys, just because I don't think anybody was expecting Dak Prescott to play at the level that he's been playing at, coming back from that gruesome injury. It's not like he just broke his ankle. I mean, his foot was twisted the opposite direction, and for him to come back, play with poise, lead the Cowboys downfield time and time again, put points on the board against good teams. Yeah, they lost to Tampa Bay week 1, but they were in that game the whole time, right? And their offense is just rolling right now. Zeke, Tony Pollard, they're making it happen. The wide receivers are making it happen. CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper look good. I like that guy Cedric Wilson that they be throwing in there as well. And their defense is holding up as they should be. Not a great defense, but I think Trayvon Diggs is making all the difference. Yeah, we saw him get got last week because he's aggressive, but again, great corners like him can be aggressive, because again, you're going to get got from time to time again, but the times you get got aren't going to be more than the times you make a play, right? And that's what I think he's doing. And the Cowboys are going to come out of the East, and they're looking good, man. I think they can make a playoff run. I don't think they'll go deep in the playoffs, but I don't think they'll get bounced first round either.
I don't know, man. I thought the Cowboys
What's up,
would
Greg?
be solid. I thought the Cowboys would be solid. I thought under the offense would be good. I'm not too surprised by them. The Cowboys. The thing about them is, when it counts. Let's just see you when it counts, okay? Talk to me about the Cowboys when it counts. Not this. This is cool. This is whatever. Talk to me about when it counts. But if I had to, a surprising team, it's
that's
tough.
what I'm saying. It's got to be the
tough.
Cowboys. Who else is shockingly surprising? Like
there are surprising teams that have gone the opposite direction.
Okay, well, are we talking about it like that? I mean, we can, but I'm saying let's talk about it in a win perspective first.
Yeah, because
in a win perspective,
the flip is who's the most disappointing team.
Right.
I have an easy answer to this. This is not hard. It's not a hard question for me. It's easily the Giants. You go out and spend all that money. I didn't think they'd be this bad. I really didn't. I didn't see this coming. The defense has been horrible, and that's been the biggest surprise of it all. Defense gave up 500 yards to the Cowboys last week. That makes no sense.
Bradbury got toasted too.
And he's been horrible, and I don't understand what exactly is wrong with this defense. But Bradbury's been horrible. Logan Ryan's been horrible. It's just been tough to watch. Leonard Williams has been horrible. I mean, last week, all of the pass rushers combined on the Giants only got one pressure on Dak Prescott. One pressure. They came close to sacking him once. They came close to making Dak feel threatened one time in that entire game. Like, if they're not the most disappointing team in football, I don't know who would be. Like, seriously, I don't know. They have been horrible. And this is in a year where Daniel Jones is breaking out. Andrew Thomas is breaking out. Like, Kadarius Toney's breaking out, and you still are bad. It's by far them. If I have to look at it from a winning perspective, from like a surprise team from a winning perspective, it's tough. I guess the Cowboys would be a good answer there, but they're a very good answer. I'm thinking about other teams. I don't know. I think the Chargers are a little bit of surprise too. I didn't think they'd be as formidable. I think that Herbert's having a really good second year, really good second year. MVP level second year. I don't know that I would have predicted that. So the Chargers are a surprise team in that aspect, but also the Panthers too. When they had CMC, they're a different team without CMC. But they're also a surprise.
Completely different.
Yeah, completely different team without CMC. They need him, but they've been a surprise too up to this point.
I like the Chargers. I like what you said about that.
Looking ahead to some of these matches this week, Jags against the Dolphins. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but I'm not. NFL decided to send more trash over the line. Overseas.
Oh,
they really
that's the London game. That's the early game tomorrow. Early morning.
Early game tomorrow. They asleep. Chris
will be awake.
You can stay at breakfast a little bit longer. You ain't gotta turn that one on.
Chris gotta be productive.
So who playing tomorrow?
Jacksonville and Miami. That's the first game, 9:30 in the morning. It's Jacksonville that win.
You locked in?
Hell no, I'm not locked in. Hell no.
I was like, you rocking with them? You rocking with that game?
Nah, bro. Nah. I don't care. I have no interest in seeing any team play from Florida.
Can the Giants get a win? As great as Trevor Lawrence is baby Jesus and everything.
That's what they were saying, right?
Can you get a win?
What they were saying.
Please.
Hey, Miami's only 1-4, so.
I saw Colin Cowherd drop his top 10 young quarterback hierarchy this week, and Trevor Lawrence was over Daniel Jones. I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, why is Daniel Jones being rated as if we're talking about rookie year? Sophomore year. We're talking about junior year Daniel Jones. Junior year Daniel Jones has been far better than Trevor Lawrence. It's just the hype. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
That's facts. That's don't lie.
There are only a few young quarterbacks better than Daniel Jones right now. Only a few.
The Giants actually have a win.
And name those few to be clear.
Huh?
Name those few to be clear.
Yeah, whatever. You guys are talking about Joe Burrow. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this Ohio
I'm not.
nonsense. I ain't
Yo,
doing
I
it.
swear to God.
Yo,
I swear to God, that's not what I was getting at. I really just wanted to make it clear for the listeners that way no one can speculate. I was trying to look out for you, but you should throw Joe Burrow's name up in there.
I think first of all, Joe Burrow is in that list, but Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, who else are we talking about here? Young quarterbacks in the league, young guys, newer young guys.
Baker's still considered new or not?
Huh?
Baker's not still considered new, right?
Baker's not better than Daniel Jones. Baker is not better. Baker is not better than Daniel Jones. No.
I think you said that. I think you said the two names, Herbert and Burrow. That's it.
Like young guys that just got here, like not Lamar and Josh Allen. These guys aren't in that conversation. They're not in this conversation. Right. I think there are only two young quarterbacks that are still up and coming and ascending that are better than Daniel Jones. It is Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Daniel Jones. Baker Mayfield is regressing. And I know he get the shoulder injury, but no, he's just not better than Daniel Jones. He's just not.
Yeah, but the shoulder injury is a cop-out too, because that is not to his throwing arm.
Oh, okay.
And I get it. It is not to his throwing arm. That is on left arm as far as I'm concerned. I think so. I'm feel free to fact check.
Odell Beckham Jr. Free that. Yeah. Chiefs are 2-3. Now they have a matchup this Washington football team. Do they get back in rhythm this week, or should we, be hitting the pan?
They'll get back in rhythm this week.
They need to beat the brakes off of them, though.
They need to. I don't think that vaunted pass rush that everyone's talking about. Oh, they haven't done much all year. I don't think they're going to get to him. I think he's going to have time. He's going to tear him apart. I think Tyreek Hill will go crazy. I think Kelsey will go crazy. I think they're going to play a mad Chiefs team, an angry Chiefs team. And the Chiefs are not as good as they have been in years past. There's something to that. I think the Bills are genuinely better than them. But I think that they'll win this game. Also, while we're on it, with the football team, what's going on with all these pass rushes in the NFL just sucking? The pass rush, no teams have pass rushes in the NFL. Has anyone noticed this? Besides maybe the Bills, no one generates pressure on the quarterback. Like it's just a lost art. The pass rushers in the NFL are getting worse, or O-line's getting better, or just quarterbacks just getting rid of the ball so fast that it's negating all these DNs because no one gets pressure on the quarterback. I thought it was just a Giants problem. I was watching games. Yo, no one gets there. The Bengals are actually one of the better teams in the league at doing it. The Bengals get there.
Thank you. I was just about to say.
Oh, I know you were about to say. That's why I wanted to spare everybody. But yeah, like.
Don't hate the player, baby. Hate the game. I'm saying the Bengals sacked Aaron Rodgers a few times last week.
But like, no one gets to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Like, it's just no. It doesn't really happen.
I like what you said about. I think the quarterbacks are just getting the ball out so much quicker though. But I also think too. I don't think it's like the offensive linemen are too good, but one is definitely the quarterbacks are getting out quick. 2 seconds is quick, bro. Skilled players like Justin Herbert that know where they're going with the ball and are taking 2 drops and that thing is flying. Kyler Murray, like that thing's coming out hot. But someone like
Kyler Murray, Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson are improvising on these plays, and you're sending extra blitzers. They're getting there, and typically it'd be a sack in the pass, but because these guys are so athletic, they're just making guys miss too. That's part of the problem, and they're making guys miss and then throwing an accurate ball down the field. So I don't know, man. I want a pass rush again. I mean, I'm a Giants fan. The Giants have a long history of great pass rushers. This is what the Giants have done. And we just don't have it.
Strahan.
Come on, Strahan. It's a long list. The Kiwanuka, the list is very long. There's a lot of great pass rushers that play for the Giants. But it's a league-wide problem. It's a league-wide problem that I'm noticing. It really
Chandler Jones had 5 in week 1, hasn't had one since. I mean, that was a few weeks ago that I heard that, but I think it was 2 weeks ago I heard that. He had 5 in week 1, and then week prior to last, nothing since. And it may still be like that, and that's crazy.
It's crazy.
Speaking of Cardinals, Browns. Are the Browns now? We put this poll up. Everybody said the Browns had the best chance to give them their first loss. Are we of the same belief? that the Cleveland Browns, who seem to only play well in big games, they wake up for those games. Do they give Arizona their first loss? And if so, what do they have to do to give Arizona that first L?
It's a must-win game for the Browns. I don't know if you agree, Chris. I think it's a must-win game for the Browns. I really do. The last game they lost was ugly.
It's not only was it ugly, but Baker Mayfield's not the type of guy that can play with a lack of confidence, right? And I think if they come out and lose this game, and then commentators start talking about, is Baker Mayfield the guy, right? I think that's going to get in his head too down the stretch when the more tougher games come. Now you're trying to fight for a playoff spot. In terms of your question, what do they have to do to win this game? They got to continue to shut down Arizona's run, which shouldn't be hard to do because their run game hasn't been really established yet. But here's the thing with the Browns. They don't have that good of a defense. On paper, it may look good, but it's really not that good. I mean, Justin Herbert torched them for 40-something points last game. Like, the Browns have been going into shootouts with teams. And it's not, you know what I mean? They haven't been holding teams in terms of points. They've just been, again, going into shootouts with teams. And that's not how you want to win games. So they need to establish some sort of defense early where they're getting 3 and outs and they're going down the field and scoring. And then they're coming back and playing good defense. Because, you don't want to just keep playing from behind and play point for point with teams. That's how you lose.
To confirm what you said, yep. Cameron Jones is leading the team in sacks and still only at 5.
Yeah.
They gotta keep Kyler in the pocket. You gotta keep, and I'm not saying, and Kyler can deliver the ball beautifully down the field. He's an amazing thrower of football, but you gotta keep him in the pocket. You gotta have a spy who's athletic enough to really, and they have a really nice young player, a nice linebacker they got out of Notre Dame. I'm just blanking on his name, but I like him. He's a rookie. He might be able to do the job. Just keep him in the pocket and allow a guy like Myles Garrett some time to kind of break through. But you got to be able to spy him effectively. But that's you. And also the Browns got to run the ball and run the air out the ball. You do not want the Cardinals having the ball in their hands. The Cardinals are going to score. Okay, they're going to score the ball. I don't really care what you really do. They're going to score their explosive offense. They got weapons everywhere. They just got Zach Ertz for crying out loud. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But you really need to run the ball, keep them on the sideline, and really do your work on the defensive end and make sure that you keep Kyler Murray in the pocket. If you can do that, you got a good chance to get that team. But that's the only way. I don't think they're going to win that game. I think they're going to lose. By the way, because they don't throw Odell the ball. I think that matters. I think Landry's back, but you got to get Odell the ball, man. Like, he's not a decoy. Trade him, for crying out loud. Trade him and continue to add to your defense. You can get some pieces. I don't want to hear that his value's down. The guy's super talented. Defenses don't play him like his value's down. I'll tell you that right now. They still double team him. They know what it's about. He's open though, and Baker's just not good enough to get him the ball. That's what it is.
Quarterback showdown. You got Lamar versus Herbert. Who has the better game? Which team gets the win?
El Boogie. El Boogie's gonna get the win. I'm going with El Boogie.
Yeah, I'm going Justin Herbert, and I'm just going Justin Herbert because I feel like you said, Greg, earlier, the Ravens defense is in shambles. And I feel like Justin Herbert is that guy that can exploit them, especially the way he's been playing week after week after week. His confidence is up here right now. He's got Keenan Allen, he's got Mike Williams, and Mike Williams has been balling out of his mind. So as long as he continues to get those guys the ball, Austin Eckler is doing a great job with play action, taking some of the pressure off of Herbert as well. So I really think the Chargers are gonna, shock people, especially if the Ravens get off to a slow start like they did the other night against the Colts. You can't come out here and get off to a slow start against Justin Herbert because he is not Carson Wentz.
I agree with that. I think the Ravens are going to win, but that's just because I have that much belief in Lamar Jackson and what he does every week to week and running the ball and how he makes that rushing attack go. How he makes a team.
Let's play some Bubba Coos bet. What's up?
Huh? Are you out?
He always want to bet food, right?
That you're wrong. Just because that game could easily not go my way. Herbert's been that good. It's a sensible choice you're making. I am banking on the better quarterback winning the football game. That's what I'm making on. You ask me why? Because that Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in football. That's why I'm picking the Ravens.
Sunday night, Steelers Seahawks. Not many are going to be.
That game is horrible.
Not many care about this game. But who's better at this point, Geno Smith or Big Ben?
I think Geno Smith. I was pretty impressed with him finishing out that game the other day when Russell Wilson went down. Throwing that corner pass to DK on his first drive, leading them down the field. We talked about it, I believe, on the last episode because I think we was actually watching that game while the episode was going. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I think Geno is going to be able to do some things with his legs. And Big Ben's going to be without Juju Smith this week, right? He's going to have to lean a lot on Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. And I will say this. The past 2 weeks, they've done the same thing. I'm not sure if it was in the opening drive, but definitely in the first quarter where he threw two go routes to Deontay Johnson for touchdowns. And they weren't short. They were pretty deep passes. So he can still get under it, but I don't know, man. It's going to be a rough game to watch because Seahawks are without Russell Wilson and Chris Carson went to Iowa.
I'm not watching it. If I watch it, it's because of Ariana. I'm not watching that game. I watch it because of her. But, yeah, I would say that Ben Roethlisberger is the better quarterback right now. I'll give him the edge. I think he's hard. He's washed, and he's not good. But I've seen Geno when he plays a lot. Like, when you see him enough, like he's a fraud.
Yeah, he was on the Giants. You're right.
Geno is a fraud. So, Geno's like the hoopty that's clean. Like it's just like you're just waiting for it to kind of poop out.
He said the hoopty that's clean.
Like the hoopty that's good and then it goes out. But yeah, and then like Ben is a hoopty. Like you just know what you're getting. At least I know what I'm getting with Ben. Ben will still throw a good, at least one. He's good for one good deep ball game.
He said Geno a 2002 Honda Civic.
That's a great, he's not even because he's a 2002 Ford Explorer because Fords are like just
with the rust on the side.
Those cars. he's a Chrysler. He's an old Chrysler.
Yeah, some may say this is the game of the week. Buffalo at Tennessee. Bills have been on fire as of late. Tennessee, you're 3-2, but they're not, most would say, a good 3-2 team. How do you see this one?
Bills winning that game by 10.
I would say the Bills are going to beat up on them too. I think the Bills are going to beat up on them. I hope they don't.
AJ Brown has been horrible for Tennessee this year. Absolutely horrible. And he's been hurt. I think the last game.
He was
Julio Jones. We haven't seen much of either because of injury. The past 2 weeks, but Derrick Henry has been carrying that team, and again, he has to run out of gas at some point, even if it's just for a week. And I think if the Bills have a good enough defense and a veteran secondary to be able to shut down their wide receivers, as long as they play the run and handle that well, they should beat up on them pretty well.
I would agree with that. I don't think I have anything to really add. I think the Josh Allen hype train's going to continue, unfortunately, for another week. I think he's going to play well.
What you mean, unfortunately? Just be happy for him, bro. I said, what you mean, unfortunately?
People don't understand the origin of my Josh Allen dislike. I'll explain it real quick. So, when he got drafted, I compare him to Lamar Jackson all the time for a reason. Lamar Jackson, you heard the way he talked about Lamar Jackson? Lamar Jackson couldn't throw the ball. Lamar Jackson couldn't read NFL defense. He couldn't this, he couldn't that. If I'm not mistaken, they had all the same weaknesses coming out of college. I don't remember. Like, Josh Allen was crazy inaccurate his first year. Do you guys remember how inaccurate he was? Right? He was a big athletic quarterback who throw a ball a country mile, right? And run. Right? That was the scouting report on Josh Allen. And there was so much talent because of his arm strength. There was like, there's so much talent. If you refine it, he can hit the target. He can get it more accurate. He can be a great quarterback.
Which he did.
Now. Which he did. Cool. So did Lamar. But Lamar didn't get the same benefit of the doubt. Lamar fell in the draft. Why? What's the difference between Lamar and Josh Allen? I don't like Josh Allen for his privilege. That's what I don't like about Josh Allen. Like, it bothers me. It still rubs me the wrong way. He's got his privilege was the reason why guys talked about him. Oh my God, look at his arm. Look at this. Yo, Lamar Jackson is a crazy arm, and he's a better athlete. What are we talking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't like the difference in the conversation that we were having about these two quarterbacks. And it happens like this every time. The black quarterback never gets the benefit of the doubt. We don't talk about what he can do. We talk about what he can't do, right? That was what we did with Lamar Jackson. But with Josh, all we saw was what he couldn't do, but all we talked about was what he could do. And that's what bothered me. And I think it's just a privilege.
That's fair. That's fair. But I will say, too, that I do think you're wrong on one point. We do talk about Lamar Jackson and what he can do. They do talk about that. They talk about how incredible he is.
Now, when he got in the league, when they both got in the league together, when he fell to 30th pick, what business do the Ravens have having him? The Ravens shouldn't even have him, bro. Think about it. The Ravens shouldn't even have Lamar. They have Lamar because NFL GMs are racist. That's why they have Lamar. It's the only reason why. Think about it. For real. Like, both guys, looking back, should have been drafted higher. But I think Lamar's a better quarterback. I think Lamar's a better quarterback than Josh Allen. I really, really do. And the only reason why we don't talk about it that way is because what? It's because subconsciously we expect the white guy to throw the ball better. It's up here. That's what I think. For real, bro. Call me crazy. I just don't like the double standard. Plus, Josh Allen said the N-word. Get him out of here, man. On Twitter. I'm off that. And you were 16, so you old enough to know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Yo, come on.
They both have played well this week.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? No, I just need someone does someone understand what I'm saying? Am I wrong?
We see all the time when it comes to the draft. We see the different viewpoints, the different analysis, and when we break down quarterbacks, black, white. It's a different level of patience, I'll say, that we have in the media. Where it's a longer leash where, just give Peyton some time. Peyton will be fine.
Peyton wasn't good till year 4 or 5. They were mad patient with Peyton. Like, come on, bro. Like, if you can't see the double standard now, if you guys can't see what I'm saying, I'm sorry. You just don't want to see it. That's what I'm saying. Like, the conversation between Lamar and Josh Allen really irritated me. It did not sit right with me. It did not. Just keeping it a buck. That being said, Josh Allen's great. He's good. He's a very good quarterback. Very good quarterback.
Well, you know the vibes. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Bench Mob Ent, we out. Peace.
Peace.